Oop, that was that was the wrong scene that I put you guys in, but uh, well, I accidentally put you guys in my OBS scene that I use for my modeling and music live streams, but I forgot that we're doing an animation stream today. So here we are. Anyway, welcome guys to another Blender live stream. I'm your host Morgan Ozpin, back again in my 2D PNG form. And today we're gonna be animating another scene on my wrestling animation. I forgot what we did last time. I think we were doing a scene wherein I did a rolling animation, I think. Is it this one? Hold on. I think it was this one that I did last time. Should have. I like forgetting what I do in these animation streams, because I just show you guys random shit that I do throughout the process, right, and give you guys now a step-by-step guide. So the reason why I don't really show you guys anymore everything that I do here is because the project's become just a very big mess now, involving multiple scenes that I decided just to do it outside of my live streaming time at this point. A reason why I'm doing it outside of my live streaming time is because, you know, it's like a lot of work trying to get shit to go live, even though there's barely anything going on screen right now. Because I noticed that whenever I do my live streams, I have a tendency to talk more than I normally would if I were to work on this with just, me, myself, and I. Because I don't know, I just have this inclination to make things as entertaining as possible for you guys, even though I sometimes get into work mode at around the second half of the stream. Anyway, that's the reason why I don't really show these animation streams anymore, because it's just so big. It's so big of an undertaking for me to get into that it requires a lot of my effort to finish one scene, and that involves me just working on this during my off time out of stream. But still, that doesn't discourage me from at least showing you guys bits of what I've been making on in Blender, especially times when I'm doing something very big during one of my animation streams. Say for example, I want to animate this guy doing a curve stomp. I think I've showed you guys how I did that in one of my past streams. So I still want to show you guys more behind the scenes stuff, but because of my limited time as a college student, I can't just show you guys what I've been working on all the time. So I might as well just show you guys a little bit of the highlights. Anyways, you guys pretty much already know how I do shit here. I pretty much the whole summary of how I animate in Blender using grease pencil is I first make plop in a 3D model I made for myself, like this cowboy themed wrestler. Have it rigged, have it do a pose. Then once I have the pose ready, I plop in a empty grease pencil object, which I haven't done yet here, like that, and then position like the 3D cursor to a point that feels natural. I think this could be a good place to put the 3D cursor here. Anyway, at least I need to put the 3D cursor at least on top or in front of the 3D model that I wanna use as reference. Then I go to draw mode, make the first frame, then repeat the entire process until I have multiple frames, like over here on this other scene I did. wherein there's now, you know, like multiple frames, and I'm now able to showcase this guy popping out from below, pulling out a chair from the bottom. Yeah, that's just kind of the way things work here in my animation process. It's the most jankiest way to animate a scene, but it works for me as someone who is not good in drawing from perspective. And you know, it works. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this scene now on a from a top-down level perspective, wherein I'm gonna show this guy. Oops, wrong camera. Should I? I notice every time I rewatch my Blender scenes, I notice how small my 3D viewports are. So I just will widen the shit out of this and narrow everything else, like the timeline. So right now we're gonna be animating this guy, basically just tossing a chair onto the ring. Not really the most eventful of scenes to animate right now, but I am now in the point of the animation where things are starting to slow down a bit until we get to a point that feels very climactic, which we are still not that close to yet. I think we still need to do, like, I think 2 more scenes. Then I will actually animate now a scene with action in it, starring the 2 wrestlers, which are not really being shown here yet. But yeah, this guy's over here. He will soon go up eventually, but we just need to animate some B scenes of this guy rolling over to the side, picking up this chair and tossing the chair to the ring, and having this guy go back to the ring and stand up. You know your standard wrestling. How do I say this? Like that part of a wrestling match wherein no shit is really happening. Like, people are just anticipating what the frick is gonna happen next until the final punch is placed and things go haywire and shit, you know. Because you know, in a wrestling match, I notice you can't just have everything be going 100% all the time, because that shit gets tiring to watch, you know. You need like a little bit of those downtime wherein you don't really see anything happening on screen. But you know, it doesn't need to be too long, but you know, just something to give the audience a breath of air before shit finally hits the fan and we get some good shit, like a spear or a coup de grace from Finn Balor or Seth Rollins' curb stomp or something. I don't know if you guys know wrestling lingo, but that's basically how it works in wrestling. Anyway, now we got this freaking guy here. I think it's time to do the animation. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think the 3D cursor should be here. I think it's somewhere, it should be somewhere around here, maybe. Yeah. Because I want the, I'm noticing that I also want to draw the chair. But if I put the 3D cursor here, and I'm going to be drawing from the reference of where the 3D cursor is. I mean from the level of where the 3D cursor is, it might be best for me to put it here because the grease pencil will now just clip behind the mat here. Okay. So let's now do the first frame here, and let's just jump into it. Where is my grease pencil object? Okay, so this is the first grease pencil object. I'm gonna move this to scene 22. like so. I'm gonna rename this to wrestler because I don't know if I would get that confused for any other grease pencil object here, which I've done multiple of right now. So yeah, by the way, I also have it be so that every time I move the pose now, the chair would actually move along with it. And it's through the power of something called object constraints that I'm able to do that. Because I noticed that yeah, over here, if I select my chair and I go down to the object constraints portion of the properties panel, I've included something called child off, the child off object constraint, and that makes it so that the chair now follows a specific bone in my armature. Because if I were to do this just, you know, with normal parenting, wherein I just you know, select two objects and control P, it wouldn't really work for this armature, because the armature is technically still in one place when you consider the its origin point. But if I were to instead reference a bone, it could, you know, it would mix it so that the chair follows wherever the bone is at, and the bone that I'm referencing is this specific bone right here. But you can't do that by just control Ping. So I sort of like tested around Blender. I didn't look at any tutorials for this one. And the solution I came up with was by using an object constraint, which in a way is kind of like doing Control P, but this one works best if you want your parent to be a specific bone in a armature. So that's why it is like that. So anyway, let's just make first the first frame. And maybe we can start talking a little bit for this first half of the stream. Let me see. Wrestler. By the way, guys, I noticed that I don't usually look at the chat when I'm animating. I used to have like a second screen with me, but the second screen that I used to have is broken. So I can't really look at OBS all the time, and the only thing that's gonna be on screen for the majority of my stream is just Blender itself. So I apologize if I don't look at your messages in time. Right. Anyway, now let's just jump into making the first frame here. Okay. Now that we got all the technical stuff aside, what can we talk about today? Well, recently been trying to do a lot of dieting stuff recently, because I noticed when I was looking at the mirror one time that I'm just looking at these hands, making sure they don't look although that bad. I think it's not bad. Alright. I'm looking at the hands from this perspective. It looks kinda jank. And I was like wondering, did I mess up the armature of the hands here? But no, it's just the chair is blocking some of the fingers here. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of dieting recently. I haven't really considered doing dieting on my own. Like the only time I've ever had a controlled dieting plan was when I was with my parents, and they had me eat literally just raw vegetables throughout an entirety of 3 months, a span of 3 months. And even so, after that, I never really considered taking a diet on my own, free will. Until now, when I finally decided, hey, You know what? I think I've been eating too much rice. I've been eating too much of my mom's cooking. And I've been, you know, taking myself too much to, you know, to different fast food joints while I'm in college. Why don't I, you know, cut the spending and limit myself to just eating one plate of rice every meal? And I've done that now for the past few weeks now. And gotta say though, it's really not only did my waistline I think lessen with this experiment of mine, I've also, you know, I also feel much more good about myself. How do I explain this? Like, because back then I've been, I guess I've been struggling to just you know, like do simple stuff like sit or, you know, even animate stuff on my own computer, because I don't know why, but I think I've been feeling a little bit of my heart pumping much faster than usual. And I you know, I sort of told my mom about this, and you know, he was sort of concerned, and he took me to a heart, I don't know, like a cardiovascular clinic near my neighborhood. And the doctor told me, yo, I mean, well, I mean, not the doctor, but the doctor examined me and gave me the results later on during the week, and what the reports say is, yo, Morgan, your heart is out of whack. And you know, at first I was sort of scared, like, yo, shit, this is bad for me. But you know, I discussed it with her mom, and she told me, yo, Morgan, this is a normal thing for Filipinos to have these sort of heart palpitations. I mean, these heart conditions, like my mom, he works at a clinic, a medical clinic, well, not even a medical clinic, but you know, a dental clinic, wherein, you know, medical professionals are working 24/7, and you'd think that these said medical professionals would have their shit together when it comes to their health, but nope, they're also they also have they not only have like health conditions, but they also have cardiovascular conditions of that are, I guess, much worse than me, I guess. I don't know if that's just a Filipino thing, or it sort of speaks to the current state of what it's like working a 24/7 job, but you know, it's a thing that exists in this world now. I mean, a common thing to expect from people is just, you know, it's just some heart problems, I guess. And my mom told me that I think the reason why we have these sort of conditions is because of the way we of the food that we eat in the Philippines. Because to be honest with you guys, I think Filipino cuisine is the equivalent of having McDonald's as your main fast food. Let me just get rid of some scenes here. Like Filipino cuisine is the equivalent of eating a Big Mac every day, I guess. I mean, it's not really the equivalent to that, but you know, our food is just stuffed with so much oil and shit. I mean, like, technically we do have some healthy options like sinigang or kalabasa, but you know, like if you're gonna ask a Filipino what they would want to eat, they would usually eat something like, yo, adobo or beefsteak Tagalog, which are these meaty dishes that are, you know, stuffed with soy sauce and salt and all of this fat that you kind of have to wonder if these are, if if we are just normalizing the eating of so much fat in our diet and carbs, I guess, that we sort of forget that these dishes, even though they're not American, because I guess that I guess it's like a stereotype now that, hey, American food, don't eat that because it's filled with these preservatives and fat and carbs that you don't wanna eat. When in actuality, it's not American food is not healthy because it's American food. The reason why American food we consider American food to be unhealthy is because most of them is stored with fat, and we can find fat anywhere, from just the food you see in the convenience store to even cuisines that you won't really think would have these unhealthy stuff inside it, like Filipino food. Like, you think, yo, this is a Asian cuisine, these are not filled with any preservatives, therefore it's healthy, right? And I say, no, that's not how it works. That's not how food works. We also have our own brand of unhealthy dishes here, especially in the Philippines. And I'm just gonna say it right now, of course, MSG is unhealthy for you if you take too much of it, because it's salt, right? Let me see. I forgot what's MSG again. I know it's like just a fancy salt that we have. Monosodium glutamate. Yeah, it's technically salt. And this thing can really, I'd say, like, give you tons of high blood pressure if you're not sure with what if you take too much of it. Let me see. MSG, is it a Oh, it's a protein. Okay. I mean, it has 0.6 grams protein. I need to freaking restudy my subject in nutrition and dentistry, because my god, I'm really forgetting what are the things that are bad for you. But yeah, we also have our own unhealthy food here. And I guess my only advice for you guys who wanna improve your diet is just watch what you eat. Just don't take too much of anything, really. That's like the main advice that I want to give to you guys. If you wanna get into dieting. Because your body would just, your body has a limit point, that. Probably should not talk more about this because I'm not an expert in nutrition and shit. I don't think it's a controversial opinion to say, hey, just watch what you eat. No food is safe if you're taking too much of it, I even heard like salad can even be unhealthy if you take too much of it, especially if you put too much what's it called again? You add too much of that Caesar salad dressing. That would be too unhealthy for you. just quickly do this. Do this. All right. Okay. Right. Even though I've been, dieting a lot recently, I still do have those times when I am tempted to just eat something, because like just today, my mom just cooked the best looking adobo that I've the best tasting adobo that I've seen him cook, because he used beef for this one. It kind of looks like she just cooked a what's that Japanese dish? It's it looks like she just cooked beef gyudon for breakfast today. Even though it's just adobo, but the beef she used, it looks like the one that I see in Yoshinoya, the beef gyudon that they serve there. And like, damn, I want to eat this so bad, but I can't. I can only limit myself to just one plate of this and shit. So I pretty much bared with it and just ate one big plate of the adobo today. But I noticed that one way I can just alleviate myself from eating too much food is just, I guess, to just drink water. I notice. I don't know why, but I think my body, whenever it feels like the stomach is, whenever it feels like my stomach is feeling a little bit empty, my body would just say, "Hey, yo, Morgan, you need to eat some more food, any food at least, And I figured, hey, what if I just give you water? Because technically, you can technically put water in your stomach, and water can fill you up, but it's easy for your body to get rid of because it's it's water. And you still do need to drink water every now and then. And I noticed that after drinking just a bottle of water, I just feel much more. I just don't have that craving to eat any more food anymore. Am I spending too much time on this one frame, or is this? No, I'm not spending too much time. I'm just. Usually, I notice that I can make one frame of this in a faster time. But now with the addition of this chair, I think I need to draw more lines than usual. Alright, let me just paint this right here. Ugh. Oh shit, why is the oh my god, why is Firefox turned on? Alright, there we go. Sorry guys. Man, Blender is such a pain for me. I hate it. Toon shaders never work whenever I try it. Yeah, I think that also works for me as well. I mean it doesn't work for me as well. Alright, thanks also, man, I'm not sure if it's intentional at all, but your screen is only showing Google. Yeah, I fixed that already, so I apologize for that. I I pulled up Google just to search up if MSG is a carbohydrate, not knowing that OBS accidentally now is showing Google on screen. But yeah, as for toon shaders, I think I just gave up on getting toon shaders to work most of the time. And instead of solely relying on toon shaders to make all the shadows and shit, I just decided, hey, why not I just paint the shadows directly into the textures, and maybe with a little bit of help of the toon shaders, I can maybe even add some more shadows to it via the procedural way that toon shaders work. You know. But in the end, when I want to make shadows for my models, I just paint it right into the textures itself rather than using Blender, then solely relying on Blender to make those shadows for me. I found easy ways to get to paint those textures, and it's through some add-ons like, I forgot the add-on already, but it's called the PSD Layers add-on for Blender, which sort of turns the texturing tools. It turns the it gave Blender the ability to add layers into your textures, which I find very useful because I don't like the way Blender is right now when it comes to the way they treat the way we make the textures, because it does sometimes feel like I'm painting in Microsoft Paint most of the time. But with this PSD Layers add-on here, I'm able to make so many. I'm able to like to put layers on top of layers the same way you do when you open up a drawing program like Krita or God forbid Photoshop. And yeah, it works, I guess. But I suggest you don't use PSD layers, because I haven't really seen them update this in a while. I heard that UCU Paint is pretty good. I just haven't tried it yet. But if you want to get into texturing, I suggest you look into the UCU Paint add-on, because I know it's pretty much just this, but it's getting constant updates every now and then. Unlike with PSD layers, I don't really see it get updated. Hold on, let me check. Has PSD layers been updating their add-on recently? I'm not sure. And I guess they are. Wait, let me see. Supports Blender 4. And I guess the recent one is now supporting Blender 4. Well, I guess it still works, I guess. But 1.5, I think. Well, last time I checked this, it was also in version 1.5. But no, just use UCU Paint, I guess. I'm thinking of transitioning to that once at some point PSD just doesn't work anymore. Anyway, let's just paint more of this cowboy. So right now, man, I don't know if you know what I'm doing right now, but I'm using grease pencil to sort of paint over my my 3D model here that I made, and I'm basically making like a 2D animation in a 3D background, wherein it stars two wrestlers beating the crap out of each other. I showed a few bits of it during my streams and in my freaking Ko-Fi page of the progress I made so far. I gotta say though, like the freaking grease pencil animation, it takes a long time to do. We gotta make all the frames and shit. This is only like my second grease pencil project I did for an animation. The first one, it only took me like 3 months, but now this one, it took me like almost by February. I think this would be a 10-month project that I've been working on, which I don't know if that's good for me. I probably should have given up on this project like a long time ago, but I'm just so passionate with the concept of this that I want to see this project to the very end, you know, because it's a wrestling animation. I freaking like wrestling. Who doesn't like wrestling? I mean, I guess people who are not into the wrestling fandom, but you know, it's it's good shit, you know. You just go watch like a wrestling promo and you understand why wrestling is such a good art form. Yes, I'm calling it an art form because I know people are gonna freak out when I say, hey, you know, Morgan, it's not a sport, it's a form of art, and I agree with that. Okay, so we made all of this. Right, and I guess we just need to make the gloves here. I also need to thicken up the lines here if I have to. I don't go for anything too detailed for this respect animation because we have multiple frames to work with. So don't expect like a Ghibli style animation here. You know, just something that sort of matches the quality that you see in Newgrounds and shit. Wherein you see these first-time animators doing their best to cope with a old version of Macromedia Flash or something. By the way, I've been watching a lot of. I mean, I guess right now, I decided to watch a little bit more of what's been posting, what people have been posting on Newgrounds of all places, because I want to gather some inspiration for some animation shit that I've been doing on like this wrestling animation. And I gotta say though, if you wanna look up something new to do, just hop into newgrounds.com and see what the animators there are working on in the movie section of that website. Because it does feel like I'm watching, I don't know, like it does feel like I'm watching Adult Swim for the first time again. Not that Adult Swim is a thing in my country, but you know, it does feel like I'm watching like random cartoons on Nickelodeon all over again or something. Where you never know what you're gonna get into until you watch like one animation published on that site, and it's like, yo, this is so good. Alright, that seems really nice. Painting in Blender is the most annoying thing that I've done other than modeling. I tried to brute force it by adding a stroke outline in to make it cartoony. Oh, yeah, that's you mean like the line art modifier? I don't really, well, I mean, I do use the line art modifier, but I don't really rely on it too much. Are you adding the outline frame by frame? Man, that seems like it takes so much time. Does the outline modifier not work for what you're going for? Because I get that it can be buggy. Yeah, I don't want to use the line art modifier because every time I use it, it just doesn't have the natural feel that I want it to be. Because I want my lines to be more curvy than usual, but with the line art modifier, I don't know, it sort of takes things too literally in my model. To a point that if it were to trace the outline of the hat here, it would look more hexagonal than what I would normally want it to be. That's why I'm just using my own freaking drawing tablet here to make everything. Alright, let me just see if everything here is on point. Okay. Let me just go to edit mode, select everything, and Alt S it. There we go. There we go. You see with the way I draw it, it looks much more natural compared to if I just rely on the line art modifier. That modifier sucks. But I would be lying to you if I didn't say if I said that I didn't use the line art modifier at some point in my Blender journey, because I sometimes use it if I feel lazy. And because there used to be like another way to make the outlines here, and it's through this janky way in which you use the solidify modifier to make the outlines by including like another material, like a hidden material in your mesh that acts as the color for your outlines, and you sort of plug that into the solidify modifier to make the outlines. But when that doesn't work for me, I use the line art modifier, and you know, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Who knows? But yeah, if I want something quick, I would use the line art modifier. But for things where I want the quality to be on point, I want to do it by hand, I guess. Okay, so right here, I kind of want to animate like a chair swing, like the guy would go whoop, then whoop, whoa, whoop. So I'm animating like a chair toss to the ring. So the guy would first go for the wind up and toss it like that. Alright. I think what I'll do now is to maybe do this. I'm trying to see what the appropriate thing for me to do here is. You know what, since I'm animating one bone, I'm posing one bone, let's see. Okay, something I haven't tried before, but what if I do like a... Let me see if I do like a quote-unquote sort of a draft animation here with a bone. Do this, then... Okay. Rotation. Okay, let's see. Then what's the okay, that's the grease pencil. This is the back. Okay. Let me just pull up the timeline here. If I go for this can work. Okay, I think the wind up is too big here, so what I'll do is maybe insert it towards around the 15 mark. No, it's too fast. 10. Alright. It works. Alright, so we got this. I'm gonna go to my object here. So I'm gonna animate on 2, so let me quickly just go to my grease pencil here, raw mode, insert blank keyframe. Solid mode? Wait, why am I back here? Alright. Let's go again. Animate the chair here. Anyway, what have I been talking about? Oh yeah, Newgrounds. I mean, technically, I've been talking about some grease pencil shenanigans, but I want to go back to my subject on Newgrounds because I've been watching a bunch of Newgrounds animations there. Because I was looking for inspiration for getting me back into animating here in Blender because shit. Not gonna lie. I'm sometimes feeling demotivated to finish some of the projects I promised you guys, like this one. So I figured, you know what, I haven't been watching some animation shit recently. Let me see what other people are doing in a site like Newgrounds, wherein animation is heavily prioritized. And and while I was looking through Newgrounds, I found this one cool animation made by this guy named... I forgot who this guy's name is. Newgrounds. It's this one animation starring... It's like a fan animation starring Kirby and Meta Knight. The Matthew Flames, yeah, the Matthew Flames, and he made this one animation called Kirby and Meta Knight Stylized Showdown. And it's basically, you know, when I watched the animation for the first time, I thought, holy crap, this is what I imagined my animations to be if it's heavily polished and have its toon shaders working correctly and shit like that. And I was so impressed, but yet again, but also I sort of got a little bit jealous of this guy because, damn, this guy is really good at his job as a 3D animator. It really made me look back at my other 3D works, and I thought to myself, damn, am I not good enough? What have I been doing for the past 3 years in Blender? So this little guy here really made me want to get good again in Blender. I like that. I like the challenge of trying to see if I can match the quality of one's animation style and see if I can apply it on my own. Granted, I still like the guy. I like Matthew Flames. I like this one animation by Matthew Flames. It really got me back into seeing the potential of what 3D animation can be all about in Blender. Did they even use Blender here? I'm not sure. Let me see. Texture shading used? Let me see. Huh? Maybe it's not here. I don't see any... I'm looking at the description for this video and I don't see anything in regards to the software that he uses. But it's really good, I must say. even the Jack Black movie fan animation. Wow. Anyway, I like this guy. Why? I need to freaking follow this guy in Newgrounds. There we go. This stuff is just that good. But aside from that, I've also watched this animation by this one guy named I forgot, but I have trouble remembering names. This guy, that has to be like a constant in my life right now. Me not remembering names, like I really gotta change that aspect of mine. Yeah, I also saw this one guy's animation called First Date. It's so I'd never seen someone replicate the Oni style of animation until I've watched this guy. Because it stars like these two, this couple. One is just a normal looking stylized cartoonish girl, but the other, the guy who plays the man in this relationship is just this one blob of a character who sort of looks like that anger emotion from Inside Out. You know, it's so funny looking at the dichotomy between these two character designs, because it does remind me of old YouTube animation in a way. wherein you know, wherein things are just so off the wall. And nothing really goes on for more than 2 minutes at maximum. Meaning that everything is just happening at breakneck speed. And for this one animation, First Date by who's again? Joely Moley, yeah. His animation was just so so funny. Basically, this guy was trying to impress this girl by trying to transfer his menstrual cramps to his body through telekinesis. And at first I thought it was so dumb, but then he actually achieved the task that he sought out to do. You know, using telekinesis to transfer the menstrual cramps of this girl to his body. You know, and at first he has this wide smile, thinking, "Yo, I finally did the thing. I did the thing that I am such a powerful god. I transferred the menstrual cramps from your body to mine." And then cut to 2 weeks later, and the guy was just in agony, trying to manage these menstrual cramps in the end. You know, it's just a very funny little cartoon I watched, and it's so great. But then I also watched this other cartoon called Drive Through. Remember this guy named Eyeball 2D? And it really challenged the way I think of animation in a way, because when I think of animation as a medium, I would think of, you know, films that of videos or scenes wherein a lot of things are happening on screen, you know, because that's the point of animation, right? Is to show a lot of shit happening in all at once. Or else, you know, if you're just gonna have a conversation between two people and you're gonna animate that, why not just do it in live action, you know? But this guy, Eyeball 2D, decided to make an animation about a guy trying to find healthy fast food options for a video. but the animation started to derail into a conversation between him and a drive-through cash registrar, wherein the whole animation is just him trying to cope with the fact that, hey, this fantastical food joint that he thinks has all the food that he needs to get healthy doesn't really have all the fast food options that he needs to get healthy. And in the end, the whole video is just him talking with this one cashier registrar. And you know, I'm looking at how this animation was constructed, and I would think to myself, you know, this goes against all the things I think about when I think of animation. It's just a conversation between these two people, and it's so mindlessly filler. But there's just something so captivating about it that I cannot really understand. It's like I guess it's kind of like comedy in a way, wherein you don't really expect what will happen next, but then you finally see it to the very end, and you think, wow, that doesn't feel like that doesn't feel right, but it works for some reason. I don't know how to explain it. I guess that's what people say when they say that Smiling Friends is also a good animated show to watch, because I don't have Adult Swim with me, but I do see some clips of it around YouTube. And I think I finally understand when people say that, you know, two animated characters talking like as if they're real people. It's like the funniest shit that you'll ever see in television, and I never really understand what that meant until I actually watched this animation. I thought to myself, wow, that statement really resonates in this one video I saw. Anyway, that also compelled me to watch a little bit of some clips of Only Plays. Because I haven't really watched. I'm not really a big fan of the Let's Play genre on YouTube, but once I tuned into an Only Plays video starring, I don't know, Chris and Zach, I am taken into like conversation between two people that that feels so insane that you have to wonder if there's anyone right in the argument that they decide to get into. If you guys ever watch an Only Place video, you kind of understand there's a certain vibe to it that you can't get from a normal Let's Play video. Like, it feels very real, yet so comically stupid that you just can't help but watch these two people go insane as the video progresses. If you guys want to watch like a good Only Place video, go watch their highlight reels of them trying to reference the Nostalgia Critic and Channel Awesome. If you guys know the lore of Channel Awesome, that is. Because as someone who used to watch Channel Awesome back in the day, their highlight video of them trying to reference people like Nostalgia Critic and Kara felt like a breath of fresh air, you know. And it sometimes compelled me to watch again Nostalgia Critic in a way, until I realized that, oh wait, they had some controversy in the past that you don't want to get into. Anyway, speaking of Nostalgia Critic, I haven't really watched them in a while. I used to watch them back in the day because I was a big fan of AVGN back in the day. I think it was around 2016 I got into watching what I would call the movie review genre, or the review genre of videos on YouTube. And first people I watched when it came to those types of videos were JonTron and Angry Video Game Nerd. And I remember the first video I watched from AVGN was, I forgot it was, I think, episode 140, wherein he started talking about this obscure Japanese game. I think it was made via some sort of Sega console I don't know about, but I think it was called like Tokyo 1997 or something. And in that video, it was in that video, if you know, through my own childish lens, I sort of start to understand the appeal of the video review genre on YouTube. Because through these videos, I was exposed to very obscure media that I could never see if I were to, you know, to just expose myself to mainstream culture, like you know, like this one, Tokyo 1997. Then it's also Cheetah Men, if you are an old AVGN fan. But I got into AVGN when I was just late into the game. It was toward 2016, and Tokyo 1997 was also was the most popular thing that he reviewed at that year. And he also, I think it was, exposed me to the Mega Man series in a way. Or at least the late Mega Man series of games, wherein Capcom was sort of pushing for a 3D style of Mega Man games in the early 2000s, I think, and late 90s. That I think is like the video that really got me into AVGN, that Mega Man episode, because it really made me understand why people are so passionate about this, about reviewing games and shit. Even though, like, I would say AVGN is like the most simple of people when it comes to reviewing these video games and movies. Like, he doesn't really say anything insightful, but you can sort of tell from the way he talks about the media that he reviews that he's really passionate about what he talks about. Especially if you watch some of his his October movie reviews, wherein he reviews horror movies. Those are like, I would say those are much better than whatever AVGN is working on right now, because I don't really see his passion in video games. I see more of his passion in filmmaking. I was so fascinated when he started talking about Dracula and Dracula, Godzilla, and the history behind them, and what he thinks is like the best movie out of all of them. Those, I think, are what's the best videos in the Cinemassacre YouTube channel right now. But anyway, after I watched freaking James Rolfe, I wanted more of it, so I decided to look into what people would watch if they want to see someone review movies. And because to be honest with you guys, I don't really have a past when it came to video games. Like, I play, I guess, Temple Run on my grandpa's old iPad back in the day, but other than that, I don't really have any childhood memories of me playing some some good video games. Aside from playing a bunch of mobile apps on my mom's or dad's Nexus 7. But I do watch movies though. You know, my mom and dad sometimes take me to the movies. We even like watched the original Avengers one time. Back in 2012. So I thought, yo, I want to watch someone the I want to see the AVGN equivalent to the person that reviews movies, and the person that first came up to me was, I think, the nostalgia critic. I think, or was it Chris Duckman? I don't know who came first, but yeah, it was one of those two. But I think nostalgia critic had like the most lasting impression of me, because it does feel like he is taking the AVGN style and just turning it into a movie review format, wherein there's characters, there's jokes, there's quips, there's him just reacting to a movie he just watched, and it's all freaking entertaining. Like, if you guys are not into the movie review genre of YouTube, and you want to get into it in the year of our Lord 2016, you most likely be watching AVGN, in Nostalgia Critic or AVGN. Those guys are funny. Like, even if you're not into the idea of people reviewing movies, you still get into them just because of how bonkers shit things get in their videos. Let me just get extend the outline here. There we go. I finished outlining everything here. Oh no, not finished. Anyway, but yeah, when I watched the Nostalgia Critic, I don't think I was into the movies that he was reviewing. I was just there just to see what the fuck is gonna happen next in his videos, because I think one review that stood out to me from this Nostalgia Critic was his review of the Mad Max Fury Road movie. And heck, I didn't even watch Mad Max during that time, Mad Max Fury Road at that time, until I finally watched it recently on Netflix. But I was so engrossed in the review because they somehow recreated, I guess, all the multiple chase scenes in the movie, wherein he was able to get all these costumes and sets and shit like that into the review in a way that you're technically getting a YouTube budget Mad Max with this one review that you're watching on YouTube, and it's so fascinating in a way. But anyway, after watching a little bit more of the Nostalgia Critic, I finally started to appreciate more the idea of reviewing movies, rather than just reviewing movies for the sake of building a universe like whatever Nostalgia Critic is doing right now. I want to get into people who are more so into reviewing movies for the sake of analyzing its cinematography or its script or its acting. And that's when I stumbled upon people like Chris Duckman, that really gave me like not only a glimpse into what it's like to actually review movies, but it really gave me some good recommendations as to what are good movies or like bad movies. I think it was through Chris Duckman that I actually watched a M. Night Shyamalan film. there was Unbreakable, which I've watched after I watched Split, which I was introduced to by Chris Stuckman in 2017, I think. But yeah, I watched Split and I watched Unbreakable, and I freaking love Split because of the freaking character of James McAvoy was just so interesting. Just to have this antagonist be this person suffering from multiple personality disorder. That character is just an interesting character to me. It's only matched by maybe someone like Diavolo, maybe from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Alright, let me quickly make... Apologize for that. Let me quickly make another frame here. Now, as for Nostalgia Critic, I haven't really watched a lot of him recently. I think it started off, the reason why it began that way at first was because I just found better people, I mean, not even better, but it's like I just found people that took the review genre more seriously compared to Nostalgia Critic. Like Lindsay Ellis, you know, nostalgia chick back in the day, but now he's an author and a person that sometimes do video essays. If you guys want to get into Lindsay Ellis, I suggest you watch her video on, I guess, Lord of the Rings, or wait, yeah, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I think go watch her video on The Hobbit, maybe. Or maybe watches her video on the Titanic and how it's the only hyped movie that he agrees with as being one of the best, highest grossing films of all time. And maybe even her video on Yoko and the Beatles. Basically anything that takes a deep dive into the history of one film, those are really good. I also watched H Bomber Guy, who did a very interesting video on plagiarism. In fact, the reason why I now include the music, the royalty, the titles of the royalty-free music that I use on my videos is because of H Bomber Guy. If we maybe consider that, hey, maybe am I accidentally doing plagiarism right now? That guy was such a just post very interesting videos if you guys haven't seen H Bomber Guy. But I also liked his video on Ruby, which I was a very big fan of back in the day. I still think Ruby, even through its ups and downs, it's just an interesting show for me, just because of it being an indie animation back in 2013. Like I couldn't imagine anyone doing that back in the day, wherein you set off to make a 3D animation on YouTube of all places, and it's a series about an anime girl going around this world that's filled with characters inspired by the Grimm's fairy tales. You know, it's just very edgy shit that a person in his edgy face would get into, and since I was an edgy teen back in the day, this was just a show for me in a way, and it's like, I guess this is now my my guilty pleasure in a way. I even sometimes watch Ruby Volume 9 when it was released. But anyway, back to freaking H Bomber Guy. H Bomber Guy had a very interesting video on the how do I say this, the series Ruby. And it really pointed out flaws that I didn't really see the first time I watched it, like the fact that the writing was really bad when you really think about it. I think they tried to make Ozpin, the headmaster of the school, to be a bad guy, but you know, looking back at it, I don't really ever see Ozpin as, or I guess Ozma, I don't know what's his real name now, Ozma, as a bad guy. When I really think about it, and also he also pointed out that the freaking action in the series really dwindled after volume 4, I guess, volume 3, wherein the original creator was, you know, was tragically passed away, and we were just left with the B team doing whatever they can to match the quality of the fight scenes that the creator had left. And also, I didn't notice it at first watch, but I didn't know that John was just I guess a self-insert to one of the writers of the team. Because I said I didn't know anything about what was happening behind the scenes when I first watched it, but when he pointed out about how John was just this sort of self-insert for this one writer to have him be paired up with Pyra, I was like, oh my god, this feels, I don't know, this feels very uncomfortable to learn about, you know. This kind of reminded me of that one time when the Magiswords creator from Cartoon Network was exposed for being a little bit of a creep, and he also did that once with his show, right? He also did a self-insert. That really made me think, wow, people who self-insert themselves in stories must really be insane in a way. But yeah, it also made me realize that, hey, Ruby, for a show that's named Ruby, there's really nothing happening with the main 4, you know, people that are in the said title of the show. It's mostly more so John's story than Ruby's story when you really think about it. Ruby is just, I guess, a happy-go-lucky girl throughout the entirety of the series, and it's only until like maybe I guess I'd say at volume 4, but I don't really see Ruby doing anything that substantial compared to whatever John has gotten into through the first 3 volumes of Ruby. But anyway, I like H Bomber Guy. H Bomber Guy just gives me very insightful things about the media that I watched. So that made me think about that really made me think about my love for Nostalgia Critic, and it really made me think, hey, you know, I like Nostalgia Critic, but he doesn't really say anything new with what he watches. Compared to whatever these guys are talking about, Lindsay Ellis and H Bomber Guy. Because I guess I'm not more invested with the behind the scenes and the history behind these the things that I watch. Compared to Nostalgic Critic, where he just like maybe like blurts out his opinion, which is, you know, not bad, but it's does get boring in a while. I kind of want to see how people make movies, you know, how like the drama that goes behind the scenes, and the I guess the sort of reasons why we have why things like The Lord of the Rings is much better than Hobbit, you know. I guess as Lindsay Ellis points out, like The Lord of the Rings, it's not something that can be replicated again. Like the whole production team, that can't be replicated again. And by doing it in a material like The Hobbit, it just feels very disingenuous because of just how simple The Hobbit is compared to the actual Lord of the Rings. Those are the insightful things I want to see in my video reviews, not these, not anymore these videos wherein it's just people blurting out their opinions. I want to see people get technical when it comes to their reviews, or maybe do a little bit of a deep dive into the history of the Beatles or something, like with Lindsay Ellis, I guess. God, I hope Lindsay Ellis does more videos, because I heard that she doesn't do that shit anymore because of the hate that she gets on Twitter and stuff. Because granted, even though you disagree with Lindsay Ellis, you gotta admit that her videos really do give insightful stuff every now and then, you know. It just feels like I'm watching a documentary most of the time whenever I watch Lindsay Ellis. Anyway. And then of course, once I learned about all the nostalgic, the Channel Awesome shit that happened back in the day, I sort of just separate myself from Nostalgic Critic. And I haven't really watched him since, I guess. Because damn, really, that's a really dark past, I gotta say, with Nostalgic Critic, and the way he treated the women in the when trying to film one of those movies. Like I said, I don't know. I actually don't know anything other than outside of their YouTube channel when it comes to the media that they publish. Like I know they used to have a website, but I was never. I never really got myself into the videos that they publish in their website until I learned about the drama regarding Channel Awesome and their past members. But yeah, I know that the good thing I've learned recently right now is that I don't think Doug had any active role when it came to whatever happened with these people. I mean, he could have done better, but he just doesn't feel like the main culprit behind the things that were happening behind the scenes. Which I guess I have more respect to Doug now compared to when I first heard about the drama. And also the fact that he really does just take his jokes about Nostalgic Critic really, you know, very lightly compared to Linkara. There was this one video I saw of him being interviewed by a guy about his reactions to people like Oni Plays making impressions of the Nostalgic Critic. And you know, he seems very cool about it, and it's like, damn, that's, you know, just for that, I just feel like you're a really cool guy. And you don't really, I guess you don't really take yourself too seriously, unlike Linkara. I haven't really watched a lot of Linkara lately, but I heard that he wasn't really a big fan whenever people tried to diss on his character. Which I think is pretty bold of him to do. For a movie critic, I would expect him to understand when people just, you know, lightly take a jab on a character, when what you should do to act appropriately, you know. But yeah, Linkara, I mean, nostalgia critic, you know, pretty, I don't know, pretty cool guy in the end. Somehow stumbled upon a massive problem back in the day. Oh boy. Okay. Let me just finish this freaking frame here. What was I talking about in Solid Critic again? Fuck. What was I talking about in the Solid Critic? I was talking about movie reviews, right? Why would I? God damn it! I'm now losing track of what why I've been talking about this. All right, let me just finish this wrestling animation here. Like that. To make the back here. Okay, let me just quickly look at this from one point of view. Alright, go for a very thick outline here. Okay, let's now include the next frame, which is this, I guess. Insert blank keyframe. By the way, is everything here still okay? Good. You gotta make sure that everything is still, if the camera is still positioned correctly. Because I noticed when I was animating the last scene here, there was a lot of empty space being shown on camera, that I had to sort of adjust the camera in a way so that the grease pencil takes up most of the screen. So yeah, we're to get this finished. Yeah, speaking of videos, I don't know why, but I've recently been watching news lately. Not anything too specific, but you know, just news. Like, I noticed I've been watching a lot of videos about the news lately. About anything happening recently and shit. And you know, my mom caught me watching Philip DeFranco of all people. And she asked me, "Yo, Morgan, do you ever, when you watch these types of videos, do you listen to what they actually talk about, or do you analyze how they talk, how they pronounce all of the words that they say to you?" And I told my mom, no, I'm watching this because of the things that they're actually talking about, right? And the way they speak, you know. Not everything has to be about the way people talk. That really made me confirm my assumption that Filipinos just really like to watch a white man speak English to them, just for the sake of liking how it sounds. But anyway, aside from that, I sort of reflected on what my mom said about me, with that question about whether I watch the news for the content or for analyzing how people speak. I came to realize after watching the Philip DeFranco show that I didn't really remember what he talked about in the video that I watched. I mean, granted, he talked about American politics, but aside from that, I didn't really remember anything that he freaking talked about after I stopped watching the video. And it really made me consider, dang, am I also a problem? Am I also unwillingly analyzing how people speak, right, and looking at the content? But then again, though, I don't really think people really watch the news to be fully invested onto what they're actually listening to, right? I guess unless you're really living in the place that the news are reporting, you won't really feel that invested, right? As I'm watching a lot of these American news on my freaking feed right now because for some reason YouTube wants me to watch this, even though I'm pretty much at the other side of the globe right now. But I'm watching these news and I'm like not invested in it once I once I turn off the video, because it's really not happening to me right here in this part of the world. Not because I don't want to be invested in it. Like for example, like I'm keep on hearing of people saying something about the way the American government is happening right now, and I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good thing to care about, but for me, I don't really have the time right now to care about that, because I'm not even though I would care about it, I don't really think I would have any say in what people should do next with that. And I have better things to spend my time on other than just caring about US politics and stuff. And I know that sounds a little bit too negative on my part, like, yo, you don't care about what's happening on this side of the world. You know how much this would relatively affect your country because of how the US has basically a lot of these bases around the world and shit. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's just, I would care if I really wanted to, but at the end of the day, I'm still like human and all. I only have so much limited time and space to care about so many things. You guys have to admit that there's really no, that you only have like so many things to prioritize before kicking the bucket and saying, hey, this is probably not the best thing for me to care about right now. What if I just take this in the back burner and worry about something else? You know, something like, I don't know, like, for me, I think the thing I'm worried about the most is just finding a job in this part of the world. Also completing my freaking college requirements. And I guess to some extent, maybe even like finishing an animation like this. Granted, they're very small things, but it's at least things that I can have a total grasp on compared to something as big as politics and shit. And I think people should take that mindset as well. You don't need to worry about things you don't have control over. Worry about the things maybe you have total control over, like small things like, say, your studies or your health. And in a way, that would sort of lead you to have like a better lifestyle for yourself. Because if you worry about things you can't change, you're basically bound to just not do anything, right? You can't do anything about that, so just do the things that you just can do right now, and you'll be able to have that, I know, I guess that spark of hope that things can be better. Because I know, like, the news can really be a total pain in the ass. Like, can really get you really depressed. Because you have all these wars, these fires and shit happening in the news. And it sucks. But I think what we need the most is that sense of agency, or I guess that sense that, hey, you have total control over what you need to do. And nothing really stands in your way of doing what's supposed to be the right thing to do. And I think the only way to sort of get that feeling once again is just to get control over the things that you actually have control over, like your studies or your health. I mean, will it affect everyone? Probably not. It'll probably only affect you as an individual, and not really the greater society. But if you know, if you just take those little steps, you sort of start to feel, I guess, alive again, or feel whole again, I would say. Where you're sort of reassuring yourself that you're actually okay, you know. You're okay, everything's going to be fine. You have some power over how your life should be. And I think that's all what people need, really. You don't need control over everything. You just need to, like, have a sense of agency. And to me, that's enough. And I think got really deep in this stream. I should probably switch gears. I've been recently watching a lot of self-help freaking videos on YouTube, because I don't know, I guess my cup of tea right now, and I guess it really helped me process the things I have no control over. in a way that feels like very refreshing to me. Like they don't really help me in a sense that, you know, it gives me things to do, but sort of just gives me like a mindset to help me process all the problems I have in my life. Like for example, in school, I sometimes feel like I'm not really doing as well as the other people in my class. Because just recently I was tasked in making a bunch of impressions of teeth for my dental materials class, and for some reason I just couldn't get it right. And compared to my other classmates at that time, they were all doing this as if it's, you know, as if it's flawless, you know. I mean, yeah, I know there are people who are better and there's people that are worse, but in my perspective, I feel like I'm not doing just as great as the others, and I feel like I'm like close to last place when it comes to the skills I have in dentistry. But then these videos really made me think, hey, this sort of worthlessness that you're feeling right now, other people feel that as well, you know. Like even the best of people, you would think that they have everything going right in their life, but in actuality they are still feel like they don't belong in the group that they are in, and when that happens, they also think that they're also not worthy of being or at least they're not good enough to be a part of this course that you're in. That made me think, wow, okay. I guess even if you're the best, you're still gonna feel insecure about yourself. And after having that sort of mindset, it really made me instead of looking at myself, I tried to sort of look at how other people function. I mean, I guess that's not really the most healthy way of thinking about about improving your lifestyle, but I started to look at how other people act, and yeah, people also do, like even my classmates, they also do have some insecurities about themselves, at least in regards to their lecture classes, wherein we start to talk about theories and concepts related to dentistry. Because that's my strength, is in memorizing all of these words and ideas presented to us during class. And my Waterloo is just actually applying those concepts into my hands, you know, making impressions, making these denture bases and shit. And from this knowledge, it made me realize, you know, even though I'm not gonna be good at this one thing, I at least have the opportunity to get jobs related to the things that I'm actually good at, like, I don't know, like knowing how to, like knowing what a plaster of Paris can do, or the setting time of said plaster of Paris. Like with my skills of memorizing all of these lectures and shit, I could have like maybe a job as a professor in a university and shit. And when you start to think about it that way, you'd think, oh my god, you know, even though I'm not gonna be very good at this dental materials class, I at least can have secure my future by just memorizing some of these concepts. And you know, you start to think, hey, everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be swell, and you don't really need to worry about things that much. And it's okay, you know, it's okay to just not be good at one thing, because hey, that's just part of being human, you know. It's just not being good at one thing. That's that's what it means to be human. Yes, you know, you're not always perfect. You're gonna stumble across some things that you need to work a little bit more on. But whenever you feel like you feel like you don't have any way of improving yourself, just remember that you have all of these strengths with you. And it's best to remember that, because in a way that sort of reassures you that even if you're not gonna be good at this one thing, you're still at least good at multiple other things, and that's okay. Mamma mia. Alright. Of course, that doesn't say that you have to solely rely on your strengths to get along with life. Sometimes you sometimes need to explore a little bit, work on your weaknesses, and find something new, just to keep things interesting in a way. Like, for example, I don't really think I wanna stay in dentistry, really. I actually find more enjoyment doing this here, these animation shit, right, and just going to this class and stuff. But still, I go to school because it feels like it just feels like something that breaks the monotony of my life in a way. But it's sometimes because with things like dentistry, you start to recognize you have skills on things that you don't know you have any skills on. Like, for example, I was making this freaking project at school when I was supposed to mix this plaster of Paris as quickly as possible, and I realized that I was like the first one to finish this project before anyone else. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that I was good at this specific part of dentistry. I mean, granted, we are I'm comparing myself to people who have no experience with mixing this plaster, but still, you know, it made me really hopeful about what my job opportunities are in the future. And made me think, yo, if this animation thing doesn't work out, I can at least have a job as a dentist at some point in the future. Because, you know, even with the freaking advent of AI. By the way, you guys have watched my AI video back in the day. I sorta freaking praised AI in a way that I think didn't age well, because I was talking about how AI tools can be a way for artists to improve their capabilities in, you know, in the animation or art process. But then I really think about it for a bit, and I'm like, I don't think that really would matter because of what exactly the nature of art really is to most people. Because even if we somehow develop tools to making art, AI tools to make art for artists, right, and for people who just want to generate an easy image or an easy animation right off the bat, and it, you know, it actually does help the artist, I don't think it really matches the idea of what art really is to most people. Because art, I think, is a special field wherein you actually do want there to be a little bit of some hard work to get your shit off the ground before you finally release it to the public. It's not like like fields like medicine or business wherein you want things to be as efficient as possible. With art, I think people like the idea of being in pain compared to most other professions in in the economy. So when people think about art being helped by AI, people just scoff at it, I'd say. And you know what? I think I kind of agree with them now, or at least fully understand now why people don't like AI in their art. It may be hard to get an art work off the ground, but that's really what art is. I guess it's the work that goes into making the work that you want to create. I mean, I guess that's what I see now, because art is still a very subjective medium, and I don't really know what what people think about when they think of art. Is it just the piece itself, or is it the work behind it that really matters? But anyway, what was talking about again? I was talking about but freaking dentistry, I think. Yeah, I was talking about how you should probably work on your weaknesses, even though you have all these strengths. I don't know what else to add to that. Yeah, weaknesses can be very hard to improve upon. But when you do, you start to realize that by improving on said weaknesses, you sort of start to see that by improving on the skills that you don't have that much experience on, you sort of open yourself to more opportunities in the future that you wouldn't be able to if you just keep yourself under a rock and work on things that you're actually good at. How can I say this? Alright, let me just finish some of these strokes here. What? Anyway, I guess that's my self-help discussion out of the books. There we go. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, speaking of freaking dental stuff, I had like the most I had the most wildest commutes to school just yesterday, because during one of my classes we were required to bring a bunch of materials for school that really made me pack up a bunch of stuff. This includes like an alcohol lamp, a can of butane, a cutter, a box cutter, yeah, some scissors, some glue, some freaking cast stones, some sticky wax, some modeling compound. You know, I was carrying a bunch of these obscure shit on my freaking let's say like, I would say bag, but really it's just like a full sack of things I need to carry to school. All this obscure shit, and it's all just freaking right at the back of my back. So I had to carry all of this shit to school, and I was like wondering, what the fuck? How the fuck should I carry all of this? And my mom decided to give me this freaking knapsack for me to bring to school. It was a very big one. It was able to fit my like a box, my animal tray and shit like that in this one bag, and I carried it all to school. I gotta say though, it's like a freaking chore getting all this shit to school, because I didn't have a locker with me. I had to basically carry all the things I need in my back, instead of just, you know, bring them one by one to school and store it in the locker and shit. So I had to carry this all one by one, all these stuff all at once, and really broke my back. And then at one point I was just like a few walks away from, or at least a few streets away from my school, and all of a sudden my freaking bag just suddenly snapped one of its straps, and the whole thing like fell. I mean, not really fell, but you know, like at least like one strap was still hanging on to my back, so the bag was sort of leaning in an awkward manner to a point that it sort of ruined my posture. And I looked at the route ahead of me, and there was really no other vehicle that would take me to school other than to just me walking there. So to sort of fix up this whole bag, I had to carry the bag by my own two arms, and I basically just did a normal workout routine with this one bag, because it basically felt like I was carrying the weight of a gorilla in my arms. So I carried this all the way to school, and my classmates. And by the time I arrived in my classroom, my classmates were thinking that this was all carried from a locker that I have, when in actuality, my freaking all this was all carried out by me from my house. So I had to get a freaking. So I had to place this bag somewhere, and I was feeling a little bit parched, you know, feeling a little bit thirsty, because I carried this freaking hunk of a pile of junk all the way out to school. So I thought to myself, damn, I should probably drink a bottle of water for this. So I looked around my bag to see if to get my water jug, and all of a sudden I realized, oh my god, I forgot to bring my water jug. And I was so pissed. I was carrying all of this shit, and I forgot to bring this one little incy little water jug to me to school, and I was freaking pissed. So I went down to the cafeteria, wasted freaking 20 pesos for this one bottle of water, and went back. And by the time classes start, I was like, all right, I have all these things I need. I mean, I don't need to worry about things missing because I carried the weight of the world in my hands for this one commute. And the teacher looked at my freaking materials and he saw the cast that I was supposed to bring to school, and she told me, no, this is the wrong one. And I'm like, what? And she said, yeah, this is the wrong one, you freaking dummy. I mean, he didn't say dummy, but you know, just for comical purposes. She said, yo, Morgan, you dummy, you stupid little shit. This is the wrong cast. You should have brought the study model version of this cast, not this ugly looking dental cast that you brought with you to school. And I had to double check to see if what she said was legit, because you know she publishes the materials we need to bring to school on my school's website or my school's portal, online portal. And I looked at the materials, and it never indicated that the cast that I was supposed to bring was supposed to be of the study model type. So I was so freaking pissed. Although looking back at it, I think she would have talked about it during one of her lectures, but still, you know, it really made me pissed that and even after carrying all this shit, I didn't get the right one. Thankfully, there was a dental supplier downstairs that gave me all the shit, the right dentalist cast for the project, and I was technically good to go without ever worrying about not getting the right cast. It's good. Anyway, looking back at it, I think the study model type was actually the right call for my teacher, because the dentalist cast I brought would have made things much more complicated for my project. Anyway, after bringing this dentalist cast to school, after this one class I have, it was finally time for me to go back home. Now, I guess a fun fact for you guys: when I go back home, I usually take the train back. So I was already like a few steps away from entering the station. After walking like a few hundred, I guess, a few kilometers to the station, because you know, I had to walk a little bit to get to the station. There were like no public vehicles for me to get to this one station. I had to walk there on my own 2 feet, which means I had to carry this load of garbage with me. these dental materials I need to bring with me throughout the road to this station. And by the time I arrived at the station, there were a bunch of guards guarding the station, which is, you know, a normal thing to happen, because you know, with train stations like this, there would normally be guards guarding the entrance, checking your luggage to see if you know, have any weaponry and shit. And you know, I respect that. You don't want any criminals entering your station and, you know, shooting some people in the train. Not that it ever happened in the past in the Philippines, but you know, it's good to have these precautionary measures. But they checked my bag. These guards checked my bag after this long walk I had, and I was so prepared to get into this train station when all of a sudden they pulled out my bottle of butane. And they told me, yo, hey sir, see this butane that you have in your pocket? We can't have that. We can't have that in the train. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, this, like, we don't allow any of these things that causes fires to be inside the train, and You know, you just can't have that. You either have to take this this butane back to your locker at school. Because yeah, of course he knows that I'm at school because I was wearing my uniform with me. Or you can just like throw it away. And I'm like, man, I don't have a locker with me. I can't just throw this shit away because I spend some good money on this shit. But anyway, another way they wouldn't let me get in this train, so I had to freaking walk 100 more meters just to stop along this sidewalk, this sunny sidewalk, this very hot sidewalk that was passing a bunch of jeepneys along the road. And I basically had to wait for another few minutes to get this jeep to come along. And it was just so freaking tiring for me waiting for this jeep while I had this freaking bag of this weight in my arms, just, you know, cramping all of my muscles and shit. Anyway, that now basically is my dental student experience. If you guys are gonna be in this field of study, be prepared to carry, not only waste a lot of money, but also carry a bunch of shit that might probably be questionable to a bunch of guards guarding a train station or a mall. Because when they do pull out your ball of butane, be ready to, I don't know, take a tricycle or a jeepney instead of the train, the more convenient train. Because they won't allow you to bring those types of stuff to school, to the commute on the train. Anyway. Okay, so now you know, basically commuting in the Philippines suck. I think I've already told that before. But at least in my case, in my specific case, I don't really take this. It isn't really that much of a long trek from my school to my house and vice versa. But I can only imagine what it's like for other people who don't have that same luxury of having their living quarters be near their college campus. I've watched a video by Sean Navarro, who's this YouTuber who's this Filipino YouTuber who talked about the current state of Philippine commuting, and it's really bad. I gotta say, if you're living in some of the rural areas here in the Philippines and you want to become a college student in some of its more prestigious schools. Oh, hey Peter. Hello, just joined your stream. What's up? I was talking about freaking college with me. I was talking about commuting at school right now. But basically, commuting sucks here in the Philippines if you are a college student and you're living in some of the rural areas. I once had a, how do I say this? A classmate of mine who told me that he actually lived in the province of Laguna, which, if you don't know, is like a place far off from what people call the university belt of the Philippines, which is, I guess also a major problem here in the Philippines, wherein all the most prestigious schools here in the country is just for some reason all packed into one place, which is Manila, the capital of the country. And that poses a problem, because if you are a person living in another part of the country, like say Laguna, which is a whole few province, which is like a few provinces away from people. Oh, so what are you drawing on? right now. Oh, I'm drawing freaking the cow. I'm drawing like a wrestler here with me. I'm basically animating a wrestler tossing a chair to the ring, as you can see. Hold on, let me just move this here. Yeah, I'm trying to animate this wrestler tossing a chair to the ring. Yeah, just a very B level scene. Nothing too extravagant happening right now. I may need to animate another B level scene before I actually animate something that has action in it, like a spear. So here's how my character looks like right now. Which I will slowly turn into a grease pencil frame once I'm done with it. Now we are in the midst of making all the frames here first before I move on. Hold on, I think I need to move this here. Shift D. Okay. Anyway, what was I talking about again? Crap, I keep losing track of time here. Yeah, commuting to freaking commuting here is a pain in the ass. I would be shocked if anyone can disagree otherwise. There was one classmate who said that he was there was one classmate of mine who told me that he was coming from Laguna whenever he comes to school. And to me that shocked me, because in order for her to get to school, she would have taken like two buses, I think, or like a bus to Manila, taking a jeepney, taking a tricycle, and somehow ended up here in the school that we were in. Which to me it sounds like the kind of trip that me and my mom would take whenever we would want to go on vacation to a faraway place like Batangas or something. And this classmate of mine was just doing that every school day, you know. And it I kind of worry for her health, and because these sorts of commutes really take a toll on you if you're not really into these long kind of bus rides. Because, you know, bus rides can really suck, especially those that last like over 2 hours or something. And if you're commuting from Laguna, you better expect your bus rides to be that long. This is one time we had to, me and my family wanted to plan this trip to Caramoan, which is this beach in region 5 of the Philippines, and in order to get there we had to take a bus. And my dad was like, well, this is gonna hurt our asses if we were to sit in this bus for 4 hours straight. So my dad decided, yo, why don't we just take this thing called the sleeper bus. And the sleeper bus, by the way, guys, if you don't know, is a kind of bus that has like a specialized kind of seating for you, where you have the ability to sort of lie down and shit like that. And lying down is actually much better for your back compared to sitting. Because I don't know, I guess that's the way it is when it comes to the human body. We can't sit down for a very long time, but we can lie down for a very long time. And when taking the sleeper bus, it was, oh my god, it felt like you're in your room again when you're in this bus. And not to mention that when you're in the sleeper bus, there would occasionally be a waitress passing by and giving you some snacks. Like at some point, this one waitress gave me some apple juice and a pastry made by this company called Apple, and it was really good. And it made me wonder, wow, I wish bus rides are just this convenient compared to what normal buses get in return. Now I do understand why we don't have that much sleeper buses. Like, sleeper buses compared to normal buses can only transfer so many people. I mean lesser people compared to the normal bus, but this has to be like commodified in a way, or I guess look into more, because I like how sleeper buses are managed and the experience that you get there compared to what you get in a normal bus. And if my classmate were to experience what a sleeper bus is, I would think that her commutes would be much more enjoyable compared to what it is right now. But anyway, that's the current state of freaking Filipino commuting. I mean, it did get a little bit better right now. I mean, we're already now making a bunch of more train stations along the country, which will extend from province to province the way. And this could probably give us more options for Filipino commuters who usually would just take a bus to Manila. But with the advent of trains, we might be able to extend those options even more. And heck, I freaking love trains. Trains are, I guess, a much more comfortable thing to ride on compared to buses. I don't know why. Even though they feel like they're the same thing, I feel like trains just sound like a more interesting experience compared to riding on a bus. Even if trains are basically just buses on tracks, I guess. Alright. I'm trying to lose. I'm trying to feel a little bit of a static feeling in my hands right now. Is this carpal tunnel syndrome? I don't know. Let me just pause for a bit and drink some water. I'll also turn on the lights in my room. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Alright, it's already 5:24. Hold on, I'm just gonna stand up. I'm gonna turn on the lights in my room because it's so freaking dark here. I started the stream at around 2 o'clock in my time zone. Now it's like starting to turn a little bit darker here. I'm seeing the sunsets at the corner of my window. So I'm gonna turn on the lights. So hold on, guys. Alright. How long has this stream been going on? 2 hours, wow. 2 hours for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames? My god. I mean, I don't really mind it. Sometimes I find drawing these frames such a meditative session for me. Like, it really calms my nerves, I guess. For some reason, I don't know why. There we go. Okay, we gotta do this, we do this. Maybe guys, if you wanna see more of these, I guess, behind the scenes stuff, I am posting some videos on my Ko-Fi page, which I will release sometime on the main channel. But if you want to see more videos like this at an early access, I suggest you go subscribe to my, or at least donate to my Ko-Fi page, because I have already like posted like a timeline there of my hot dog character modeling process there. Granted, the VODs are already public here on the channel, but if you want to see a more edited down version of me making a hot dog character in Blender that's toon shaded and non-photorealistic, there is already a video out on my Ko-Fi page which you can go check out. That I did something a little bit more different with that video, because usually when I make my time lapses, I usually speed up or speed up all the VOD footage into one video with very minor cuts in between, just to get rid of all of the waiting screens and stuff when I'm not doing anything and just chatting with you guys on the VODs. That's technically how I make my time lapses before, but with this specific one that I did for this hot dog character, because there weren't that much things, there weren't that much VOD footage to edit. I decided to instead of speeding everything up, I decided to cut all of the things that feel like filler and just have the video showcase all of the major things I did when making the character at normal speed. And the final video output came up at around 17 minutes, which is short compared to my Ridley time-lapse I did back then. But yeah, it came out at around 17 minutes, and I had to really cut everything down. I put much more effort to this compared to my other time lapses, because I can't just like speed up the footage. I had to like manually analyze all of the VOD footage and see which ones I should leave for this specific video. It's kind of like I guess the best way to explain it is like a Dr. Garuda video. You guys know Dr. Garuda, right? Like, he's the guy who made those actual physical 3D sculptures of your favorite anime, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Chainsaw Man, and shit like that. It's think of it as one of those types of videos, but instead of me making a clay model, it's me making something in Blender. Damn. Speaking of Dr. Garuda, I haven't really watched Dr. Garuda in a while. I like his videos where he sculpted
Jotaro Kujo and freaking Dio Brando from JoJo's. As a big fan of JoJo's, I really approve of his freaking style. Anyway. Some other things I want to do on my actual channel. I did say I want to do another music stream at some point so I can make a soundtrack for my Metroid animation I want to make. I think I want to hold on to that for a bit. I want to focus more on some Blender shit right now. Because again, the animation process here is taking longer than usual. I do want to do another, I would say, I want to do another coding stream at some point, because I want to talk more about anime and movie reviews with you guys, and I don't know if I can do that by, I guess, improving upon a specific web page in my website, or I'm making like a movie review or like a media review page. I want to talk more to you guys about some things I've been watching on Netflix, like Tokyo Love Story, Dr. Stone, even. What else I've been watching? I also want to talk about some Indian films like Three Idiots and this one film about a alien who tries to question religion. That's a very weird concept now that I'm thinking about it, but it was a Bollywood movie starring this very popular actor. It was really good, not gonna lie. It didn't feel that too preachy, I would say, but it feels very I guess it feels like a very wholesome little film. And these Bollywood movies, the reason why I'm watching all these Bollywood movies was because of the most strangest of circumstances. Like, because during one of my classes back in the day, we had like a religious instructor who told us to watch all of these Bollywood movies I've never watched before. And this was for an assignment, and I thought to myself, oh, this is gonna oh god, are we gonna watch a very bad Christian movie once again? But in actuality, this professor was really cool, I'd say. Because I watched some of his one of his videos, and it's I watched some of the Bollywood movies that he recommended, and it was really good, I must say. One was called Three Idiots. It's all about this one guy who sort of is like a very smart individual, like even smarter than his professors, and when he when he started to realize how flawed the educational system was in the film, he started to to sort of help these students out by actually being much better than the professor. And it's a very fun film, I must say. Aside from all the dancing and shit, which I really appreciate from Bollywood films, I really like the movie. Now that I'm thinking about it more and more, I first thought it was cringy at first, but the more I think about it, I just think that it was a very wholesome, very fun film to watch. And it's I wouldn't mind if I want to watch it again. Now to think about it, it's hold on. I'm wondering, is freaking Three Idiots a part of the Netflix catalog? Let me see. Three Idiots. Okay, PK is here, which is the idiot movie that I was talking about. They don't have freaking. They don't have the. Oh my god! Wait! No, get out of here! I'm looking at the Netflix catalog right now, or at least the one in the Philippines. Yeah, I don't think Three Idiots is here. We didn't watch it before because I remember my religious teacher, my religion teacher, just gave us like a free website to watch it on. Dang it, I don't know where it is. But it's a very fun film. If you guys wanna watch a Bollywood movie on your spare time, you go watch Three Idiots. But yeah, I wanna do some more media reviews with you guys. But I also want to do it while I'm working on something. And I thought, yo, we should probably just update that website and shit. I also wanna learn more JavaScript, but because of the time constraints I have and the fact that I'm prioritizing more the animation side of my channel, I haven't really been looking into a lot of JavaScript tutorials lately. I'll probably do that once I'm done with these 2 animation projects I have in store. Okay. Oh my god. I'm having a little bit of a stuffy nose right now. Now, speaking of religious, my religious teacher. Actually, no, I shouldn't probably not talk about it. I was about to go on a rant, on a discussion about this religious holiday in the Philippines. It's called the Feast of the Black Nazarene, which happened like I think a week ago. And it's the reason why I didn't really have that much classes back during that week, but essentially I learned about, I guess, not really learned, but I was sort of reminded that there was this holiday in the Philippines wherein it's called the Feast of the Black Nazarene, and this holiday really reminded me that Philippine culture can be very interesting if you know where to look. Because the way this holiday works is because it's a Christian holiday here. I guess Christian holiday here in the Philippines, wherein it's this tradition that along the streets of Manila near a place called Quiapo Church, they will carry this specific statue of a, I'm really forgetting what's the name of the statue, but it's called I think it was a miniature Jesus, I think. Hold on. Feast of the Saints of the Black Nazarene. Yeah, there it is. Alright, the Feast of Black Nazarene, officially liturgically the Feast of Jesus Nazareno, is a religious festival held in the Philippines. It's also known as the Translacion. After the mass procession done during the feast, it is centered around the Black Nazarene, an image of Jesus Christ dating to the 16th century. The feast is celebrated annually on January 9. This is taken from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Alright, it is a freaking image of Christ. Well, I mean, not an image, but technically a statue of Jesus Christ. But in a way that but it's not like a traditional image of Jesus Christ. It's like a dark-skinned version of Jesus Christ, and his I'm forgetting. Is this? Was it a? They had like more childish features, or was it just a normal? No, it was just a normal. Yeah, it was just a normal image of Jesus Christ, but his skin is painted much darker. But yeah, this said statue is carried along the streets of Manila for this day in January 14. January 14 was it? Was it January 14? Oh, January 9, sorry. In January 9. And during this carrying of the statue, there will be a bunch of believers of the Christian religion that would go out of their way to attend this sort of parade, this sort of ceremony. And they would essentially not only try to be there just for the sake of the religion, of the religious tradition, but they will also be there just to touch the statue of the Black Nazarene. Not only because it was it was not only because it's some kind of tradition, but because it is widely believed that this statue would give you great prosperity or good luck if you are to be able to touch this statue with your own two hands. And it's a very interesting lore dump, I would say, when it comes to Filipino tradition. Usually when people think of Filipinos, they think of, I don't know, like adobo, martial law maybe, or maybe even I don't know, the way we dance carnyosa, or the way that our grandmas would spank us if we don't cook our rice correctly. But This holiday made me really interested in Filipino culture in a way, because this is like the first of many things I've learned about my own culture that really made me want to know more about our lore. I would say, because I don't know, with the American tradition, you have, I don't know, like uh what is it, that big axe guy, who you sometimes consider to be a kaiju. In Japanese culture, you have I don't know, all these gods and shit. Uh, and maybe even, like, your shrine maidens that can somehow communicate with your gods. Um, but then the Philippines, we don't really have anything that's really widely known. I guess you have the aswang, which is this mythical creature in Filipino mythology that is of a woman with wings and had its legs cut off, that pretty much, like, I think like a demon, I'd say, that takes away your children at night if you're not looking. Which is very interesting myth in in our country. But other than that, I don't really see anything about anything that's I don't really see anything interesting about the Filipino mythos until I guess now I've seen this one procession here in the Philippines, wherein we widely believe that this one statue can bring good prosperity to the masses if you were able to touch it. Which is very interesting. I want to see more of that in my in my culture. Things that really makes you think, wow, we can really make a $1 million franchise out of this one specific part of this culture. Not that I'm not, again, I'm not really saying that as seriously, but I like a good story when it comes to analyzing people's culture, and this is just a very good thing to learn about when it comes to my country. Okay, so now that we're here, oh, forgot to make some of these lines here. There we go. Hold on. Let me just check on the live stream once more to see if you guys are chatting. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's just finish up this one frame here. Before we maybe call it a day. I don't want to do work. I do want to work more on this, but I have to maybe reheat some of my rice and the adobo that my mom cooked for dinner. I can't get enough of this adobo I just had this morning. It felt like I'm a big fan of adobo, guys, and whenever someone cooks it just as great, it's like that's perfect magic for me. Okay, before we move on, let me see, are there any missing fingers here? Alright, 1 frame, 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, 5 frames, 6 frames, 7 frames. Okay. So now we move on to here. And this is where we finally decide to... Oh wow, it's already there. Okay. Let me bring back all of this stuff here. I'm gonna hide the grease pencil here for a bit. And let me just get the ring here back as well. Alright. Let's do some post mode. Actually, wait, maybe I need to get rid of the... Ah, shit. Just, yeah, I'll get rid of the armature for, the object constraint for now. Alright. Okay. Let me bring back the grease pencil here, and this should go down here. All right. All right. Here we go. Okay. R, X, or Y. 180. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna drag this here. Okay. And as for this one, ah shit. RZ. Okay, yeah, kind of like that, I'd say. Alright, works. So now that it's here, okay, let's go back to the, okay, so 24. Okay, let's go back to the wrestler draw mode. insert blank keyframe. All right. Okay. I'm just checking my hands to see if this is a natural way for the hands to land on. Right, so far so good. All right. Oh god. All right, let's paint this. Paint this. Wait. Beep. Beep, beep, beep. No. Okay. Let's ignore those sharp edges there. Okay, there we go. If I can do it without the smoothing. Let me see if I can make all these lines with a pressing shift. Alright, so far so good. Okay. Whoop. You know, I don't know why, but I've suddenly fallen down into this YouTube rabbit hole where I started watching... Wait, did I talk about this? I don't think I did, but I've fallen down into this YouTube rabbit hole where I started learning about all of these obscure Nintendo consoles that I have never played, but for some reason I'm totally engrossed in. For example, I just watched a Scott the VODs episode where he just talks about the Wii U for just a couple of hours, and I don't know why. Like, I know what the Wii U is, but why do I have to watch a 1-hour video of someone talking about the Wii U? Of course, I've had the Wii U before, but you know, it's for some reason my mind just wants to watch a video that talks about Nintendo and things I've already heard about. Like, I just watched a video about Shigeru Miyamoto and about how he is the freaking, and about how his how in his past life he is the person that's behind Mario, and I'm like, dude, I already know about this shit. Why am I watching this again? I don't know what's with my mind right now, but it's just like whenever it's an autopilot, it just wants to watch Nintendo shit that I've already heard about from before. Anyway, let me just make all of this here.
Okay. Oh boy, okay. Let's do that. Cool. Now that I painted this chair, this does remind me of. As I'm painting this chair, it reminds me of this one video I saw from this guy named Nick Robinson. It's about this guy who once petitioned because I guess at this point of this video's publication, Reggie Fils-Aimé, the CEO of Nintendo America, was about to be retired, and people are thinking, "Hey, yo, Reggie's retiring? Oh my God, Reggie's retiring!" And as a sort of farewell to the fans of Nintendo, Reggie, my boy Reggie, decided to take final pictures of his office before he resigned. And in one of those freaking videos, in one of those pictures that he showed to the public via social media, he showed to people the picture of his chair that he uses with his desk, and I looked at the picture of the chair, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty normal looking chair, but for some reason people just freaked the fuck out with this chair. And I was looking at the chair and I was like, oh, this is a very fine chair, what's wrong with it? And people were like, no, like what Reggie needs is the best chair, and this chair right here, this office looking, standard looking chair, this is not gonna cut it. Reggie needs a Herman Miller Acer chair. For some reason, I don't know why people are so invested in giving the CEO a chair, but for some reason people started a petition page to get Reggie a Herman Miller chair, even though he's already retired, he's not working anymore. Like, not working anymore at Nintendo. But you know, it's like this guy, these people who are big fans of his work as the CEO of Nintendo America, decided, yo, we're gonna petition for this guy to get a better chair. He needs the Herman Miller Acer chair model from Herman Miller Corporation, and we're gonna get this guy a chair. And usually these petition pages don't really work. I mean, these are just people signing a waiver, I guess, to show how many people like for something like this to happen, without any of them giving proper funding. But for some reason, people signed this petition to a point that over 28,000 have signed in agreement that Herman Miller, Reggie Fils-Aimé, should get a better chair from Herman Miller. And at first, nothing really came out of it. Like, people are just talking about it in Twitter, which I didn't know about. I didn't know this happened throughout Twitter, because I was not really in the Twitter space when this happened. But eventually, people started talking about it in Twitter. It was like
think Herman Miller was once trending during the time of this video's publication. But yeah, people were saying, hey, we should get Reggie a better chair. We need this guy a better chair to sit on. His the chair he posted on social media, it ain't cutting it. We need this person who was a part of our childhoods to have a better chair. And eventually, freaking Herman Miller themselves, or at least the person behind the Herman Miller Twitter account, tweeted at these people and said, "Yo, I got you, boys. We're gonna give Reggie Fils-Aimé a better chair. We're gonna give him the Acer model that we have in store. It's rated 5 stars in the IMDb chair website. We're gonna give this guy a good chair." I thought it was so ridiculous. I mean it's a nice thing, but I feel like people are going all. I being a bit too serious when it comes to giving this guy a chair. I mean, I guess that's Twitter for you, I guess. So eventually, Herman Miller told the masses, everyone, I heard the news, and we got you. We're gonna give this guy a 5-star chair. We're gonna give him the Acer model, and we're gonna have him delivered to his house. And at first it didn't feel like it was a real thing. I mean, granted, it's social media. We spout bullshit there all the time. But Reggie eventually posted on Twitter saying, "Hey yo, thanks to you guys who have been crazily wanting me to get a better chair for my office that I don't have anymore." I mean, technically he has a home office, but still. Because you guys are so crazy about the places where I sit, I am finally going to get an Acer model from Herman Miller for free, and it's gonna be delivered right into my office in just a few weeks, and I'm gonna publish it to my social media once it's done. Once it's there. And people were like going, oh my god. They were like, "Oh my god, we finally did it, guys. We did it, boys. We finally get this guy a freaking chair." And I'm looking at the things that's happening in this video that I found, and it's so crazy to me. But it's still wholesome. I find it very wholesome. I just find the craziness of this very funny. The fact that people are very interested in getting this guy a chair for no reason other than the fact that he used to be the CEO of the Nintendo of America. I don't really see a lot of people praise CEOs as much as Reggie Fils-Aimé. Maybe because Nintendo is a big part of people's childhood, and that can be replicated if you're like, say, the CEO of I don't know, something like SM or Bed Bath and Beyond or something. So it's kind of weird seeing this is so much support from people towards a CEO, even though CEOs right now they're pretty much in hot water right now for some reason. I mean, not for some reason, but for multiple reasons. Like massive layoffs and shit. But Reggie for some reason is like quite the exception. And I guess that's fair for him. I don't really see any controversy come from Reggie himself, aside from maybe not releasing Mother Free to the West. But yeah, I reckon Reggie is a cool guy, I guess. I think the one video that got me interested in Reggie's life is when Nintendo published this commercial to advertise Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and the 3DS. It was this video of them trying to showcase the Mii fighters that they newly introduced into the game. Like there was the sword, there was the melee fighter, the gunner, and the brawler. Uh, and to showcase these new characters in the game, they decided to get Satoru Iwata and Reggie Fils-Aimé in one room, and basically they filmed them doing a bunch of these crazy fighting moves, like this headbutt, this I forgot these punches, these JoJo looking ass punches, wherein they were barraging themselves with punches at the speed of bullets towards each other. And there was even one time wherein I think, was it Reggie or was it Satoru Iwata that decided to do a backflip just to dodge a specific attack from the other CEO. It was so funny, and it really made me appreciate these CEOs a bit more. Did it improve my idea of what CEOs can be? Not really. I would probably say this is just they probably did this just for a marketing gimmick, but you know, it sort of shows that, you know, even CEOs can have a little bit of fun. And I don't really see, you know, the company do that. Aside from Nintendo. There's even this one commercial that I remembered wherein I think they turned the Shigeru Miyamoto, Satoru, and Reggie Fils-Aimé into puppets because they, for some reason, had a collaboration with the people behind the Muppets. And to celebrate that, they decided to use those puppets that they have in their studio to make a commercial for Star Fox, which was I guess a pretty cool thing to watch. Like I could just watch these commercials just for the sake of being so bonkers insane. I don't really see that in other companies other than Nintendo, I guess. Okay, let me see. Okay. I just realized I don't really need to. I can just copy this frame, right? Okay, let me see. Okay, I might be able to finish all the frames here, or at least the outlines of it in just this one stream. A. Oh wait, Shift D. Okay, let me see how this looks in action. Maybe I can move this a little bit further here, I guess. And then this one. Ah shit. I can press F there. Alright. Let me see this scene in action. Let me bring back all this stuff here. Hide the wrestler. Hide the chair. Bring back the things in the stadium. Oh yeah, that's good. Actually, I think I need to do another frame, maybe. I'll include one here. I'll just do this really quickly. I just need to do a little bit of a follow through for this guy because it does feel like he stopped at this one specific frame. Let me just this draw mode. Inserts. Actually, no. I think I'll just copy this, right? Edit mode. It's like all of this. I just need to move his body slightly. To the left, to the left here. There we go. Okay, let me just see this. Right, erase all of this. Erase some of this. Okay. Alright, let's see how this looks in action. Okay, I'm gonna select all of this. Control C. B. See one more time. That's pretty good. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. Apologize for not completing this once again, but I think I'll do the coloring in another stream because I think I'm gonna. I want to do this now offline, both the coloring and shit, and once I probably get into something more actiony in the camera, I might do another one of these streams. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I thank you guys for sitting through while I rant about things like school, the news, and I don't know, like self-help shit during the entirety of the stream. I must say though, this is like I guess the first of the rare kinds of streams when I actually was able to talk all the way through from start to finish. But yeah, I guess this is gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. Now go read a book. Bye bye. Wipe.